Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Moses Itauma and Mariusz Wach all weighed in and ready to go ahead of their showdown on the JoyceChisora undercard. Moses Itauma enters this one 9-0. And Mariusz Wach is the guy that is the most well-known opponent for Itauma so far and amongst the most durable. I know some people will say that Wach is the most durable guy that Itauma has faced so far, but I think that really underplays Konstantin Doboshenko and the fight that he had with Itauma and the role that he's playing as an up-and-coming gatekeeper in world boxing. Also, Itauma, 7 knockouts so far. Kevin Espindola also took him the distance about a year ago. That was a 6-rounder. So for this one, Moses Itauma coming in at a nice and trim 239 pounds. That's a good weight for him, and I think that's where he should be, there or thereabouts, campaigning somewhere between 235 and 240. For Mariusz Wach, 287 pounds. And this is about 2 years and 20 pounds removed from lower weights against guys he was having more competitive fights against, like Arslanbek Makhmudov. So I think this is, and this photo really does show it. Mariusz Wach, a little bit soft around the middle, and Itauma said he's going to target that body. And I think this fight really is a case of Moses Itauma is going to have to work to the body, try to use his skills and abilities to break down the very durable Mariusz Wach, who's rarely been stopped. So you have a situation more recently, Mariusz Wach in the past year or so, he's fought Frazer Clarke. That was a year ago, took him the distance, took him all 10 rounds. Prior to that, in 2022, Kevin Lerena took him the distance. Arslanbek Makhmudov obviously has stopped him, and it's kind of been diminishing returns in recent years. And I know some people will say, oh, well, Dillian Whyte had a really good fight with Mariusz Wach, and Wach ran him close in 2019. But we're talking 5 years removed from that. He's now 44 years old, and it really has been a decline in recent years. 5 years in the boxing world, especially at a certain level, is a long time. Wach has been slipping progressively. So this could be right time for Moses Itauma, but I think we all know Wach has still got, considerable durability, even at 44 years old. It's just a different style and look for Itauma, and he's going to have to work for this win. So ahead of the fight, he said that he has seen that soft body of Wach, but also he doesn't want to just continually hurt his hands on a big hard head. So he does want to open up and work to the body and try to sort of soften him up and try to sort of break him down. And that really is a good strategy for Itauma because Mariusz Wach is certainly durable. The body is going to be there on offer. And what we've seen in recent years from Mariusz Wach is diminishing returns, especially on the offensive end. Sure, he's durable and can take a pasting, take some punishment, but he's really not throwing much back anymore. Even in his prime, he wasn't necessarily a guy that was, an offensive maestro or anything like that. He could work a jab. Sometimes the right hand would be effective, but mostly he's been able to sort of get through his career and rely on the durability. But let's face it, for the majority of his career, his durability has been his calling card, and it still is at 44 years old, but diminishing returns. So I think Itauma goes in here, he's going to have to work to the body, he's going to basically, it could end up being a little bit of a stinker. The one against Frazer Clarke a year ago, he kind of made Frazer Clarke just look a little bit so-so and plodding, because it definitely felt like the same thing every round, round after round, and you just got into this pattern of this monotonous sort of repetition. So we might see a little bit of that. So it's going to be interesting what the corner can do with the instruction to try to, keep Itauma working away. And if he has to switch things up, make some adjustments and try to just vary his game plan a little bit, what's he going to do? Are we going to see any new wrinkles? Will he be dedicated to the body? And if so, what sort of dent is that going to have on Mariusz Wach, who is obviously shown to have a very durable head? I think Itauma probably is going to go the distance here. And as I say, I see this fight on a par with Konstantin Doboshenko. And that fight earlier in his career, I think, was important for a few reasons. Because one, he needs rounds. But two, it kind of just sort of put a bit of a tally-ho on some of the hype with Itauma, because there was no sort of first round or, knockout streak to worry about. He was able to sort of sit back and try to, use his skills and ability to get wins. He wasn't in any trouble against Doboshenko nor against Espindola, where he got those wins by decision. But since then, we really haven't seen him against guys of a similar ilk in caliber. It's been pretty soft sort of stuff and a lot of sort of showcase fights, building out and padding out the records. But this fight is important because he needs more rounds. More rounds than he's been getting. The opponents they've been putting him in with have not been good enough. It's moved away from the Espindolas and all that sort of stuff. I think they wanted to build back a little bit of the hype and the buzz and that sort of stuff, and hoping after another year or so that he's matured enough that he can actually go in there and do a number on Mariusz Wach, because I'm sure they're hoping he can be a guy that can get a rare stoppage against Mariusz Wach, actually make him stop, not through an injury or a cut or anything like that, but actually take him out, a la an Arslanbek Makhmudov. But if Fraser Clark, who I think is a bigger puncher than Moses Itauma, can't get it done, I'm not sure that Itauma is going to get it done. But that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, he's 9-0, he's building. I think what he really needs is rounds. He needs to know that he's going to have to grift and graft and, really put in a shift against a fighter who sometimes is immovable. He's going to have to, pull out all his bag of tricks to try to break down and work out and figure out and stop Mariusz Wach. I think this could be a fight where Itauma wins all the rounds and it's going to be a bit dull and repetitive after a while, but he'll probably look halfway decent. But if he stops him, a little bit of a mini statement. There are, like I say, diminishing returns. There's only so much credit you can get at this point against the 44-year-old Mariusz Wach, who has at different points in the last couple of years retired and then come back when the money's been right, a la this sort of fight. What do you make of it all? Mariusz Wach, Moses Itauma, going the distance, or is this a little statement that Itauma is going to achieve via a stoppage? Let me know. Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.